Hello, welcome back. My name is Amanda and this is my channel all about knitting. I talk about a variety of stuff on this channel, what I have been knitting on personally, knitting patterns, knitting projects, knitting organization. If it is knitting or crafty related, you're probably going to find it on this channel. Today's video is just going to be a regular sit and chit chat about what I've been knitting over the past couple weeks, so we might as well jump on into that. One other thing real quick, I should say, last week's episode, I don't know what was going on with my internet and uploading and that sort of thing. It took forever to upload. It just went up on Friday, so it hasn't been up very long. But I sat down and pulled every single project in every single nook and cranny in this craft room out that I could find and decided if I was going to keep it and finish it or fry it and use the yarn for something else. So I thought it was a really fun video. I just wanted to let you know that it did go live because it was at a different time than normal. So if you missed that, make sure you check it out. But yeah, let's go into my works in progress. That's what you're here for, I'm assuming. I don't have any finished objects this episode. I'm not wearing anything. If you see a bruise on my arm, which hopefully you don't, I had to get blood work done today. That's a whole nother story. I had to do my glucose test for pregnancy today, which went great. I had the drink. Did totally fine, but I think because I had to be fasted for it, or they wanted me fasted for it, that made me sick. So I had my blood drawn, and then after the blood was drawn was not great. But I'm good now, but I just wanted to point out I bruised really bad. So if you see a bruise on my arm, I'm fine. That's what that is. Anyways, rambling already, and we haven't even got in like a couple minutes of video. But let's talk about my Midland cardigan first. This is a pattern that's going to be coming in the new year from Penrose. I actually might want my hanger to show this, but I'll talk for a little bit first and then we'll grab that. I have it in this bag. I love this bag. It's from, I've got questions about it before. It's not technically a knitting bag. It's from Corgi on Fleek. It's like a vlog channel here on YouTube, but they have a corgi and I have a corgi and I saw this and needed it. And now it's a knitting bag. Anyways, so Midland cardigan. I am knitting the size 4 for this. It might go up to like 10 or 11 sizes, size inclusive pattern. It's basically a full garter cardigan, but the garter, instead of running the usual way like this horizontally, it runs vertically. So the construction is super, super neat. I have been really enjoying it. Just wait till you see how much I have done since last episode. But let's talk yarn really quick before I put it on a hanger for you. So the pattern itself calls for Woolly Mammoth Fiber Co. Hearth DK. It is a 50% BFL, 50% Jacob wool combination, and it does have 240 meters. Oh, I did that again. I didn't convert that into yards. Let me do that quick. That in my notes so that I have it for next time at least. So in yards, that is about 260 to 263 yards per 100 grams. And I'm using Woolberry Fiber Co. Berry DK. It's 100% superwash merino, and it is a 231 yard per 100 gram yarn. So it is going to, I expect it to grow a little bit more. I did my swatch and it grew significant, well, not significantly, but a decent amount, as superwash tends to do when you block it. And the yarn itself is a little bit thicker, but I'm okay with that because the gauge on this, I wouldn't say it's loose, but it is a little bit more, oh, you can't see it on camera, but it's a little bit more airy, drapey. I think it's going to make for a beautiful fit when it's done, but I think it just fills in the gaps a little bit, having a slightly thicker yarn. So I'm going to grab that hanger because, like I said, this has unique construction, and I think that's going to be the easiest way for me to show it to you. So this is a dark yarn. I'm going to try and do my best in post to make it a little bit more visible for you, because I do think it's not going to show up the greatest on camera, but I will try my best. So, oh yeah, it's barely showing. I wonder if, oh, if I hold it closer, it's not so bad. I should be able to fix that. I also apologize that it's covered in fur. That is my household. So I have the one whole side done here. You can see where the button band will go on. There is a faux seam running along both of the shoulders there. You can see how the garter is running up and down instead of side to side, which is so cool in my opinion. The whole back is done now, and then I am working now on the second side. I'd say I'm about halfway, maybe a third done on the second side. This has been knitting up very quickly. It's literally all, well, minus increases and decreases, of course, to shape things. It's all just straight garter stitch. So you're just knitting, I don't think I've purled once on this, which I think makes it go really, really fast. And yeah, it's just been such a nice, mindless project, which I'm enjoying working on some complicated stuff right now too, but something about this like mindless sit down at the end of the day and don't have to think at all is just so nice. Let's see, what will I do next? Finish this here. I think I'll probably personally do, no, I have to do the ribbing on the bottom first or next, or I could go into the sleeves, but I think I want to finish the whole body so that I can try it on, maybe even, no, I do need to block it because I have to seam it on the sides here. That is one other nice thing about the pattern. There is an option for a seamed version and a not seamed version. So if you're not a seaming person, you have an option to get away with not seaming. I really like seaming, or at least I have lately, so I wasn't too concerned about having to seam this. So I will block it, seam it, put on the bottom hem, button band, and then I think I will do the sleeves, just so I know exactly how the body is going to lay on me and kind of the length I want for the sleeves, so I don't end up with them being too long by chance or something like that. But yeah, I am so in love with this. I think it's gonna look super cute with the baby bump. I'm trying to hold this in ways that I can make it kind of visible what's going on. Though in post, I'll probably just look like a ghost, and then you'll be able to see this. Yeah, I am so excited to be able to wear this. I think it's the perfect sort of like Christmassy color, but I can also get away with it with any season too. I don't know. I think it will match well with a lot of stuff, a lot of the neutral t-shirts and things I have, so very much enjoying working on this. It was worth the wait. I think I said last episode that Laura's had the pattern, or she's had a couple samples knit up for a good, maybe a year now, even at this point. And I've been eyeing it up like crazy, knowing that I wanted to test knit it. And I'm very thankful it came out once, or came out for testing rather, once I was starting to feel a little bit better. Because if I was still sick, there's no way I would have been able to fit this test knit in, especially now that I'm trying to slow down on the test knits so that once baby comes, I don't have anything that is pressing that needs to be finished. There's no timelines or anything. So I've signed up for one other test knit, and I honestly think that might be the last one. Sorry, just moving some stuff around here. The last one that I'm able to do, because they're starting to be due in January now, and baby is due in February, and I really don't want anything on my needles that I have to deal with in February. So I think that's about where I'm at with test knitting stuff. That was a little bit of an aside, but I had two projects in that corgi bag because I was traveling somewhere and wanted some options because I was going to be sitting there all day, and now I'm trying to adjust the one project over into a different bag. And also finding rogue fruit snacks. Fruit snacks, oh my gosh, are probably one of my favorite things to eat right now. I swear, if this child of mine does not like fruit snacks when she arrives, I don't know what was going on, because I think they were one of the few things I could eat when I was sick. And so I think I've gone through 2 Costco-sized boxes of them. I'm on my 3rd, I think. It's a lot of fruit snacks. Fruit snacks I've been loving. Total aside. I think I've had like 10 total asides today, but hey, I'm feeling better. So might as well ramble. That's what I used to do, right? I love fruit snacks lately. Goldfish. I'm gonna just list off all the junk food I like, but I've been eating healthy too, don't worry. fruit snacks, goldfish, ramen. Been loving ramen. What else? Skittles. Bottle, you know those bottle cap candies? They used to be Wonka. I couldn't find them anywhere in store. They used to be in store. I couldn't find them anywhere. So I definitely ordered a 10-pack box off of Amazon of those because I was craving them so badly. Oh, and pretzels and Nutella. So good. So good. Anyways, I'm hungry all the time now. Can you tell? I'm much happier being hungry all the time than nauseous all the time, but it's been something to get used to for sure. So I did also, like I said, sign up for one other test knit. And if you watched the whip down video that I put up this past week, this is using the yarn from the Inesadora shawl that I did decide to frog, which actually is not frogged yet because I will still be frogging it, but it's not frogged yet because I realized I had way more yarn left than I thought. So I didn't want to pull this out and have to use a whole bunch of little scrappy ends until absolutely necessary. So I'm just using what I have left in the balls, but this is that shawl real quick. I do talk about it more in that video, but it will be getting torn out and it is now being used for this. So this is the Kintra sweater by Rebecca Clow. I was also very excited frogging that shawl to get this bag back because I love it. This is from Knits from Michigan Woods. So I got this, I think it's spun Ann Arbor. So it's got the knitting and the mitten on one side, and then it's got to knitting on the other with the Upper Peninsula. I just thought it was super cute. The handles are great. It's a really nice thick canvas and it has a pocket inside, and yeah, Kintra sweater. I'm knitting the size 5. I decided to do it a little bit, or not a little bit oversized, but on the very high end of positive ease. I couldn't tell you what the exact positive ease I have is. I think it's about 10-ish, 12-ish inches, but I wanted it to be able to fit me now, but also be a big cozy oversized piece as well once baby's here. So size 5, there is no specific called for yarn on the pattern, at least not yet, but the pattern itself is designed to either use up scrap yarn or to use an advent with. She's designed it and we are testing it, or one of the things we're testing rather. She's designed it so that every single size can use a 24 skein mini advent and be able to get all of the stripes out of it. So I'm using the yarn that I was using in the Inesadora, I think it was 2022 Stress Knits yarn Planty Holidays Advent, which, how this is coming together, I'm loving so much, and I'm so glad I decided to do this. And then for the main color, I found this in my stash. This is Woolberry Fiber Co. on their Berry Merino base. I had 3 skeins of this, which is exactly what I needed. And this color is called Summer Holiday. So this is my main color. And then I'm using all of the minis, which I don't have all of them here with me, but you'll see a decent collection of them on my yoke, which is here. And actually the needles are big enough right now. I think I can spread this out and get you a pretty decent look at the yoke without it being scrunched up. I can do that good old, yeah, like that. So this is what I have so far. I think I have 7 or 8 colors in here. Sorry, my phone on silent. I think I have about 7 or 8 colors in here so far. I did switch around a few. I'm not doing them in exact order, but quite close to order. It was just right at the end of it, I think day 22 or 23 through 24 were all relatively close and quite fadey, and I didn't want that to be visible in the yoke. I wanted there to be a decent difference between all of these different stripes. So I just shoved those colors in kind of randomly throughout wherever I felt like it fit. Actually, I think day 23 is in here already. So I think it's working quite well. I'm loving it. It's knitting up super, super fast. And that fast knitting is actually with me knitting this in a fingering weight yarn, or in the pattern she calls it a 4-ply. I think that's like a Europe, UK thing to call fingering weight 4-ply. But the pattern itself does come with a DK weight option, or it will, and a 4-ply option. So I wanted to do the 4-ply so I could use up this advent calendar. I can't stop holding it up. Look how pretty that is. That has to be a thumbnail, right? But yeah, I wanted to be able to use up my advent, and so I figured this was a great way to do it. Yes, there are a lot of ends at the beginning here, but then the whole rest of the body is just going to be plain stockinette. So I think it will be a really nice, mindless, thoughtless, easy project. And even this color work here is very simple. It's all 1x1 color work with the odd increase thrown in there, so you have to pay attention once in a while, but it's charted, so I'm finding it pretty darn easy to follow and quite fun. So yeah, here it is folded in half. It doesn't have short rows right away at the beginning of the yoke. They're put in after all the color work is done, which is actually something I've never done before, and I'm really excited to try and see how the fit is. It's also, I know I've said before I don't like a yoked fit, but it is like a yoke raglan combination, which I'm also excited to try out. So I will definitely let you know what I think of that, but I'm loving the colors so far. I think it's really, really pretty. So excited to continue working on it. Also loving looking at it in my lighting in here, because I've been working on it mostly at night. So the color shifts and stuff look so different in the like evening light of my house than they do now. And I'm very, very pleased. So yeah, I think that's about all I have to say. Just gonna keep working away on that. I've been switching back and forth between some stuff here and there, and it's been quite fun. So really enjoying working on that. The only other thing I have put effort into in the past couple weeks is my Artisan cardigan by Sandnes Garn, which now has fruit snacks on it. So we will remove those. Hopefully this isn't too tangled. I haven't picked it up in a little bit, but I have made quite a bit of progress since last episode. So I'm trying to think where I was. I think I had the whole body done and it was seamed, but I hadn't put on the button band and I hadn't started the sleeves. So I have done that now. I have put on the button band and started the sleeves, but let's talk details first. I'm knitting the size large for this. The pattern itself calls for Double Sunday by Sandnes Garn and Tin Silk Mohair by Sandnes Garn held double. So Double Sunday is just 100% non-superwash wool, DK weight, and Tin Silk Mohair is a mix of mohair, silk, and wool, and it is like a lace weight yarn. So holding those together gives you about a worsted weight. And what I am doing is holding together 2 skeins of Explore Knits and Fibers Rockies DK to get my worsted weight. And it's working quite well. And I did want to say as well, I realized I forgot to mention it last episode, but I had put a call out on my Instagram stories asking if anyone had an extra skein of Fidah for me to purchase that they'd be willing to part with, because I knew I was going to be short about a skein. I thought I could do it. It just wasn't working. And a lovely, lovely subscriber on Instagram, I don't know if she follows me here, but contacted me and said she would be willing to sell me her skein. And it was so cool. It ended up, after we passed information, we realized we lived like 20 minutes from each other, which was crazy in itself. But then we were able to meet up, and I was able to purchase the skein off of her that way. And we want to get together and knit sometime, but our lives are both crazy. So who knows when that will happen eventually, I hope. But I just thought it was really, really cool that I was able to connect with another knitter so close by to get the skein. I fully expected to have to pay for shipping and that sort of thing and all of that, but I was just able to go grab it from her. So thank you so much. I am so glad I have that extra skein. It's making me feel so much better. I was starting to panic. I think that's why I was knitting this so fast for a while there. It's because I was panic knitting. Like, oh my goodness, I need to get this done to know if I'm gonna have enough yarn. But now I know I have enough yarn, so all good. Anyways, so I added the button band. This sucker is huge. There's the button band, and there is the start of a sleeve. So the sleeves are just completely moss stitch with some decreases thrown in there. So I picked up and started this sleeve. The button band itself is a double knit button band. Fun story, I had about half of it done and realized I had picked up too many stitches and it was bunching really bad, so I ripped out the whole button band and redid it. And I'm glad I did. It's definitely hanging much, much better now. Yeah, it's so pretty. It's gonna be the squishiest, biggest, most loveliest oversized cardigan in the most beautiful neutral, but like also a statement type piece. Let me see if I can get the two fronts together here because of the different stitch patterns and oh, this is so hard to hold. Where'd my hanger go? Let's see if I can make the hanger work. Oopsies. Dropping things. See if I can make the hanger work for this one too. Also need to photograph all these things after or make reels or something because I've been so bad at posting on Instagram lately. There. Apparently I need to use the hanger more often. Is that not gorgeous? Oh my gosh. It's so pretty. I love it. I love a double knit button band too. It's another one of those things like seaming where I heard so many people say, oh, they're so time consuming. They are time consuming, don't get me wrong, and hard and awful and whatever, and I don't mind it. And I think it's so worth it for the outcome that even if it is, like I said, a little bit longer to do, that is fine. So that is that so far. Where was I last time? I think I just stuck that there because I definitely had the body seamed. But I will move that progress keeper now to the sleeve so it's there for next time if I get some work into it. But yeah. Oh my gosh. That just hit me in the teeth. This is my row counter, which I do like, and it has never assaulted me before. Anyways, I've talked about those so many times, I'm not going to get into it. If you want to know what it is, I can tell you in the comments, but apparently flinging your knitting around like this, which I don't think anyone but me does, is not a good thing, and it will whack you in the face. So there is the Artisan. Very pleased. Not a lot of progress, but it's so squishy. I want it done again, I think, for Christmas. I'm thinking about Canada weather and snowy cold Christmas and wanting all the warm things, and this is definitely one of those warm things that I want. And it knits up so fast because it's the worsted weight too, especially, well, the fingering weight sweater is knitting up very fast too because the color work is so fun. It's that situation of one more row, I want to add the next color, because the color rows on the Kintra, or you're adding a new color like every 3-ish rows. So I don't know. It's just fun to add a new one in and see what's going to happen. But the other thing I wanted to talk about really quickly, I had a package come today, so I thought we could open it together. It is from, I paid for this myself, by the way, Wool & Company. This is one of my favorite places online to order yarn. They have free shipping in the US and just really good prices, really good service. They ship really fast, and so I get a lot of stuff from here. So I'm going to open it up because it's probably going to be crinkly and no one wants to hear that. And then we can talk about what's in here. Okie dokie. So first off, I just grabbed, I noticed I'm really short on like longer interchangeable needle cables. So I grabbed a couple 37-inch Chiagu twist cables and then just also some needle stopper or like, and come on, end stoppers from there too. Doesn't want to focus on the bag. Because I need to get better at switching out my tips and just putting those on when I'm like going between projects instead of buying more tips, because that just ends up being me having a whole bunch of fixed needles again. So got some more of those stoppers just so if I want to take the needles off, I have something to twist into the end of the cable and keep that from sliding off. The other thing I grabbed, which I am very excited about, Jessica from Those Twins Who Knit just recently finished a book club cardigan by Sari Nordlund, and she used this yarn. And when I saw the color of it, I knew that I wanted to use this. I've used this yarn before. It is Woolstok worsted. So I've used the Woolstok fingering before. It's 100% fine Highland wool, and it's very, very affordable. And they have, which I did not realize, in the worsted, 150 gram skeins. So then you have to weave in less ends, which I also love. So I grabbed some skeins of this. What color is this guy? Number 1306 Wild Thyme. This is the same color, I think, that Jessica used. I can't remember if she actually said, but it was a really deep, deep green. And so I picked the deepest green they had and assumed it would be the same. So I've got some skeins of this, and I do want to knit a book club cardigan. It has been in my mind for ages. It's beautiful. I want to finish off the cable cardigans I have right now before I cast this on, but grabbed me some of those because it's affordable and it's pretty, and why not? Sometimes I don't need a reason to buy yarn. Sometimes I just want to buy yarn. So that came in the mail today. I have to get that put away. We'll just set it over here for now. But I do want to bring these cables down with me, so I will put that in a project bag. I guess I could talk about this real quick too, just for a accountability sake. When I was doing my whip down, this is one of the projects I decided to keep, and I am going to work on it this week. Or the next couple weeks. This is my Daft Days cardigan by Rebecca Clow. This is my own yarn. What colors are these? The dark is Graphite, and then going down from the top here, JiIllian. What are you? Wow, that's embarrassing. Something. Christine and Kindred Spirits. So I have the whole thing done, including the button band and a sleeve, except for this sleeve. So by next episode, hold me to it, I want this sleeve done. So this is coming down with me as well. I won't talk about it too much because I obviously haven't worked on it, but we're going to talk about it for accountability, because then I have to work on it, because I made a promise to both you and myself. So that is that real quick. This bag is awesome as well. It's actually a backpack. It's from Songbird Handmade. There's the logo. This folds down and clips shut, which I can do really quickly. And then you got the cutest little backpack with like a full leather bottom and straps, and I'm a backpack girl. I like either tote bags or backpacks, so I love that project bag a lot. Anyways, I think that is everything I have to chat with you today about. More monogamous than I have been over the years, for sure. I was flicking through, actually, my show notebook. I just have like a literal notebook that I write everything in. And I was looking for information on the Stress Knits advent calendar, just because I have no tags to tell me what the makeup of the yarn is, which I still don't know what it is, but I'm 90% sure it is also a 100% superwash merino, like I don't know how many plies it is, but I'm pretty sure it's 100% superwash merino. If it isn't, it's an 80-20, and they work quite well together. But when I finally found it, the amount of projects I used to have on the needles at once is, I wouldn't say alarming, but overwhelming. So I'm liking having 3 on the needles at once. I'm seeing more progress quicker, which is good for my brain right now. Hopefully that was still fun for you, even if I don't have as much to talk about. And if you liked what you saw today, please consider subscribing. Really helps out the channel a lot. Gets these videos out to other knitters and YouTubers, YouTube watchers, all those things just like you. And I will see you again next week for another fun video that I have not planned yet. Bye.